Hello and welcome back to my channel, everyone. Well, I really hope you're doing great and keeping fit. Well, today I'm back with chapter 9 that deals with disasters. Well, by the word disaster, when we spell the word disaster, we actually have a lot of figures in our mind, a lot of pictures in our mind, right? It associates the sight of helplessness. It associates the sight of great loss and misery. So yes, of course, then we need to realize that from where these words are actually coming. So from where we can trace its origin. Okay, so if we recall and go back and you just quickly brush up your knowledge, then you will be able to recall that we have read that all the weather phenomena, okay, is happening in the layer of the atmosphere which is called troposphere, right? When we were dealing with the different layers of the earth, different layers of the atmosphere, then we have seen that the different layers have different significance and they perform different duties, right? So the lowest layer of the Earth's surface, the lower layer of the atmosphere is called the troposphere, and whatever changes and movement happens there affect us in several ways. Okay, so the weather, the changes and the movement that take place in the atmosphere is called briefly the weather. Okay, how is the weather today? Whether it's sunny or it's a cloudy day, or it's windy or it's raining, depends on the kind of weather elements that are predominating on that particular day. Okay, so it was all about the concept of weather. So when we come out of this concept and go on a broader spectrum, we will see that the constant weather conditions of a particular place precisely over more than 35 years of time is termed as the climate. Okay, when we see that a particular place is retaining that same weather structure or weather features, then we give it a name of a particular climatic regime. Now, then throughout the centuries, human being lives across the globe have lived in fear and of some devastating changes and disasters that occurred in nature. So disaster is not a very new concept. Okay, it was a very old concept, and changes after changes have made the earth what it is now today. Okay, if we see from the formations of the mountains to the course of a river, everything has changed in its own way and have resulted in several landforms that we see today. So basically, what is a disaster? It is an unforeseen and serious misfortunes caused due to extreme events of natural or human interventions or changes in a certain period of time. Okay, many types of smaller events and weather fluctuations used to occur regularly in nature, and those smaller events and fluctuations often give birth to extreme events cumulatively. Okay, cumulatively means all together. So what are the examples that comes into our mind whenever we talk about disaster? Of course, it will take into consideration earthquake, drought, floods, cyclones, landslides, volcanic eruptions. Okay, they are actually the great environmental disasters, as these events frequently cause great devastation in different parts of the world. Our country, India, it has gone through a lot of changes. It has seen a lot. It has withstood a lot. Okay, so we have seen the devastating flood condition, the flash floods of Uttarakhand. If you remember, we have seen the Bhuj earthquake. We have seen the 2006 tsunami. So so many natural disasters have been very, very powerful in the past. Okay, so if we classify natural disaster, we are getting two different categories. One is natural and the other is human induced or man-made. Yes, you have heard it right. People or men interventions are also responsible for causing disasters sometimes. We are going to learn about them here. Okay, due to their carelessness and due to their wrong deeds, sometimes it turns into a disastrous consequence. So we will read about that. Natural disasters are either planetary or extraplanetary according to their origin. Planetary natural disasters are either terrestrial or atmospheric, like volcanic eruptions, earthquake, landslides, and mine disasters are considered to be terrestrial, and whereas tropical cyclones of various type, flood, drought, are atmospheric natural disasters, which are linked to atmospheric phenomena, are called the atmospheric natural disaster. The extraplanetary disasters include collision between the Earth and the bodies like the space, asteroids, comets, meteorites, etc. These collisions may produce catastrophic disasters like high tidal wave, hurricane, landslide, movement, of rotation and formation of craters, changes in sea level, etc. So, where we read about the endogenic processes in geography in class 7, all of you have read it. So, these movements are actually responsible for these hazards. Okay, when there will be an underwater earthquake, it's very obvious that it will induce the tsunami waves. Okay, and as a result, it will cause flood and it will cause the disaster. So they all are interlinked. Human made or human induced are serious misfortunes having human hands behind them. Most of the environmental disasters that frequently occur these days kill millions of people along with heavy damages to properties. Okay, there is a small chart here down. You just go through this for your clarification, the classification. Okay, so first, within natural disasters, we are coming to cyclone. What are they? A cyclone is considered to be the tempest or a destructive storm. A cyclone is a system of wind of very high speed turning around a zone of very low atmospheric pressure in a diameter of about 650 kilometers, followed by resultant high tide surges and high rainfall with persist for many days. So cyclones are actually very fast moving winds which usually are of destructive type, and they have a diameter of about the diameter of the wind with which it blows is around 650 kilometers. So you can understand the power. Okay, and in the middle of it we have the low pressure zone. So whenever you have extreme low pressure created, so take a note that you may experience a cyclone. Okay, it usually happens during the summertime when it's scorching heated, the water bodies are extremely heated, and the warm air is rising up continuously. So there is always a void that is being created. Void means an emptiness, a low pressure zone. So whenever it's a low pressure, obviously from the surrounding high pressure zone, the wind will try to occupy the low pressure area, and thus it will blow at a supersonic speed. So that is how a cyclone originates. All right, the term is synonymous to atmospheric disasters occurring in tropical regions of Bangladesh, and it has to have a connection with the tropical region. Let me tell you, okay, because the tropics are the warmer sections of the earth, and they have the water bodies accumulation. Okay, the eastern coastal part of India, you know that already. The part of Bay of Bengal. Intense tropical cyclones of Caribbean regions and southeastern USA are called the hurricanes. They have separate names there, whereas in the same North Pacific Ocean they are called the typhoons. So the same kind of cyclonic storm has different names in India. Okay, we call them here as cyclones. They are called typhoon in in the North Pacific Ocean, and in the US they are called the hurricanes. There are several local atmospheric events which remain small in form and nature. They are called tornadoes. So the local storm which usually have less intensity will be calling tornadoes. So in the origin of a cyclone, if we can draw the raw diagram of it, we will see that in the middle is the eye of the storm, that is the most powerful in the middle portion, and it has always the low pressure created. Okay, so what are the devastating effects of cyclone? Of course, it will damage ships and goods loaded on them. They kill human beings traveling through those ships. A lot of oil is spilled on the surface of water, which damages the ocean ecosystem. So although there can be a forecast and which warns us, and the meteorological department of India and the other countries have worked a lot in predicting, but sometimes we cannot actually predict when it is going to come. So it can be very sudden. Okay, the recent Umphoon, it was a super cyclone. So you know that what amount of destruction it had, or what amount of impact it had on West Bengal and parts of Orissa. So we were the worst affected state in the country, affected by Umphoon. Okay, I still remember the day when it was just passing around 600 kilometers from Cooch Behar, and sitting in Cooch Behar, I could feel the extremely strong wind that is passing by, so we have the ready reference of a super cyclone, very recent. Okay, then next, it caused heavy damage to land, and by depositing salt beside this, they cause heavy damages to house, other building, agricultural property, I mean to the crops. Okay, crops are heavily damaged and kill humans and cattle on large scale. Cyclone damage coral reef and mangrove, that are habitat of large varieties of animals. Okay, it enforces people to evacuate their habitat. Of course, they have to relocate. So all these are the impacts and the greater impacts and consequences of a cyclone. Then we are coming to an earthquake. We all know it, you all know it by now, what is an earthquake. And it may be defined as the shaking of the earth's surface as a result of sudden release of stress built up in the earth's crust. Okay, so whenever there is a sudden shaking of the ground because of some internal plate movement, then it will induce an earthquake. All right, and you all know that how it occurs, what are lithospheric plates, and when they collide with each other, vibrations generate, and the vibration is so powerful that it can induce underwater earthquake, and thus it will also be generating volcanism, and it may also cause a terrible earthquake. So the place where it originates is called focus, and from the focus vertically, the point vertically located on the surface of the earth is called the epicenter. Okay, so it is measured, like the earthquake can be measured by two scales, the Richter scale and the Mercalli scale. All right, and what are the impacts of the earthquake? It caused shaking and trembling of the earth, caused big buildings to fall down. As a result, hundreds of people and cattle are crushed to death. They can destroy everything, causing total devastation. Buildings are shifted or foundations, ground cracks. They cause landslides in the hilly areas. It is very obvious if the loose rocks are there and your floor is trembling and shaking. Of course, there will be landslides. All right, and bridges and roads are damaged badly, and they sometimes interrupt the rail lines or twisted or make them twisted. Okay, they are generated by undersea tremors, create towering towers of marine water having great powers of destruction. In Japanese, these are called the tsunamis. So tsunami is always induced by an underwater earthquake, okay, or the shaking or the trembling of the plates. Now we will come to tsunami. They are the series of seismic sea waves that can sweep off of land of coastal area, causing catastrophic damage. And the word is a Japanese word meaning harbor waves, because they are very often and frequent in the Japan coast. Okay, they are different from tidal waves as there are never caused due to gravitational forces. Okay, these are different from storm surges, because storm surges are domes of water that rise under hurricanes or cyclones. So tsunamis are completely different category of water surges which have a Japanese connection. It's a Japanese word. Okay, now origin of tsunamis, it can be an undersea earthquake, it can be an undersea landslide or volcanic eruption, or a force of an asteroid crashing into the ocean. So all four possibilities can be there, and like among these four, if any one happens, then we can experience a tsunami. Now impacts of tsunami, it is not unknown to us. The flowing back of tsunami wave washes away a large number of people and animals who die and disappear in the seawater. The backwash of water, backwash means the moving away of the water from the land, okay, away huge amounts of sediments that get deposited on coral reefs and undersea habitats of marine animals. It waves the waves bring large number of sea animals in the coastal areas who often get caught in structures of land and cannot go back. Those animals die and decompose on dry sea coast and create health hazard in coastal areas. So both for the marine creatures and the animals habitating on the land are equally harassing and devastating. A tsunami can be. Okay, it not only devastates the water ecosystem, it also intervenes with the life of the people living on lands. And it damages roads, bridges, buildings, crop fields, garden, deposit a layer of salt everywhere. The waves cause heavy destructions in rural coastal areas and can cause serious damages to electric supply lines and telecommunication system. This is very important, because in village maybe there are a few lines, okay, for communications, and if they are all lost, like we had during Amphan, what happened was all the communication lines were gone, and so many parts of the city were without any water and electricity. So this is unacceptable. This is something extremely bad. Like they had to suffer because so many younger people, so many kids, children, even the older people live in the city, so they had to go through such such devastation. So it is a complete disaster in one way. All right. Okay, next we are moving to drought. Like the opposite of flood, or the antonym of flood is drought. We all know it is a situation of dryness occurring in an area where mean annual rainfall is less than 75% of the normal rainfall. In some area, it happens that compared to the other years, the mean average rainfall is so less that it intervenes with the normal functioning of the ecosystem. So that is a condition when we call it a drought. Drought can be classified under several headings, like meteorological drought, hydrological drought. We have agricultural drought, socio-economic drought, famine, and ecological drought. Okay, so all these are the classifications of drought under which we can section is for. Next we have what is the impact. Of course, many types of plants and animals die off due to drought because they cannot withstand dry weather condition. Drought enforces many populations to migrate from one place to another in search of water, right? They have to. Water shortage during drought cause high reduction in agricultural and industrial production, leading to heavy economic losses. Sometimes even political powers are changed due to droughts, as hungry people often disfavor state or central government during the elections. Yes, when if you know if the government fails to control the situation, if the government fails to render you the needed help, then of course you will the power lies with the people, and they will not vote the same party again. So it also becomes very difficult for the people to survive. Okay, so children, we will stop here with drought today. I want you to go through the chapter till what we have read today. I hope there will be no problem for you to understand. If you have liked the video, please click the like button, share the video, and please comment to let me know that you have really gone through the video. Watch the entire video. Those who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and support. All right, and I'll be back with the next portions of the chapter very soon. All right, till then, take care.